What's up, guys? Long time no see. Well, not really. I don't think my video was that old. The last one I posted. I just missed you guys, so gotta do another one. All right, big question here. So growing up, when I was able to like comprehend stuff on my own, um, my passions, my interests, my goals. Not so much my goals, but just to have fun. Um, Met a lot of friends. Very few into the same music. I was going through like a transition. I didn't really have a set music. I thought I did, and I didn't. It was like rock, industrial, metal, this mishmash. There's anything I heard on a video game or like wrestling, stuff like that, or like a movie soundtrack kind of stuck. And 9 times out of 10, it was like some kind of metal song, you know, uh, any band. But yeah, I was like, I want to, do that. So I got a phone call from a friend. Said, hey, you want to be in a band? I'm like, sure. Well, what should I do? Buy a guitar. Okay. So I took lessons. They were okay. And I learned the rest myself, and kind of just play for fun now. But from that point on, I just kind of participated in bands, usually with the same group. Different. We played around with different kind of genres of music, and some heavier, some like in between, some acoustic stuff, industrial. Believe it or not, like think I like Nine Inch Nails. Um, it was fun. In between that though, the film bug bit me. Now, I wasn't a film nerd. I knew of film. I liked the movies, especially horror movies, action, sci-fi, what yada yada yada. Um, but I never really. I was like, I don't want to really get into that. It seems like a lot. But then another friend of mine, who's in one of my bands, was like, hey, let's do a short movie. I was like, all right, what the heck? And I realized how incredibly fun, not easy, but like the payoff is good. Even if the movie's not that, it could be like a two minute long movie. If you did it or participated in somehow, um, it felt great, kind of satisfying a little bit, kind of like doing an art project. Didn't have to be great, but you did it. You took the time, you made something, so it's kind of cool. Um, so yeah, I juggled between back and forth. In fact, I when I got the program anyway, I incorporated some of my music I would make. Nothing, catastrophic, nothing, crazy. Just like beats, you know, real industrial kind of stuff. And I put that as my own sound. I try to not to sound, controlling. I try to have my name as much in the credits, but like because I want it to do everything. I want to, I want to wear a lot of hats, and you know, just feels more satisfying producing something, writing, directing, uh, doing the soundtrack, the music, all that stuff. And it was fun. Not that good of an actor. But I did try to when I can, when I had to, I would participate in my films. But yeah, that all stemmed from somewhere too, though. Because like I said, I wouldn't really pursued it as much as I did. I mean, yeah, I might contemplate writing here and there or fantasize about filming another short, but time and family just kind of, you know, can't really find the time to do that. But if God willing, I come across it again, sure, I'll do it for fun. Uh, but yeah, what really kind of fueled it, obviously, it was probably always in me. I just need someone to unlock it. Kind of like a little soft push to kind of help me pursue it. Uh, Aside from my friend, was the movies from Full Moon Entertainment. Now, if you guys ever stayed up, past 2 o'clock in the morning and watched a bizarre horror movie, odds are it was probably a Full Moon or Empire Pictures. Now, those two are, you know, share the same creator. I'll get to that in a second. So, Full Moon Pictures. What is that? Besides having a really cool uh, entrance, like every company, like Blumhouse has like a big thing going on. But yeah, full moon is literally like a full moon rising. Now I think it's like a full moon rising this way with bats. Anyway, they made these real schlocky kind of B movies. I mean, we're not talking like like okay B movies. They're B movies. Just put it that way. Okay, a B movie will always be a B movie. But they really kind of caught my attention because they were so cheaply made, but at the same time they weren't. They were shot on movie sets, and they just seemed really impressive to me. They utilized everything. When you have such a tight budget, sometimes you have to think outside the box. And Charlie Band, who is in charge of Full Moon, kind of made it happen. Whatever resource he had, he utilized it. I like to think of Charlie Band like in the likes of Roger Corman, who's a great producer, director. He gave, believe it or not, he gave a lot of people big breaks. Roger Corman, Francis Ford Coppola, Jack Nicholson. But he was a B movie director, and he made it happen. Lloyd Kaufman, you guys might know him from The Toxic Avenger or Class of Nukem High. B movie style movies, really, really like shoestring budget stuff, but entertaining nonetheless. And definitely check out those two guys. In fact, I think I'll leave links to them on their body of work below this page if you want to check them out. But yeah, back to Charles Band and Full Moon Entertainment. Puppet Master was a big drive. Not only were the puppets, I'm going to say from 1 to 5, were animated by this stop motion effect artist who's no longer with us, David Allen, who did other movies, obviously, yes, but he made something come to life in camera, and it was pretty neat. It's a long, dragging process. It's not used anymore, because, we got computers and CGI, but there was just something so genuine about stop-motion animation, even in animated stuff. It works, But yeah, like I said, despite it feeling, not even cheap, just, it's a B movie. I don't know how else to explain a B movie, fun, just entertaining, and just had a lot going on for it. And like I said, you get lost in these movies. There were so many sequels. So many movies. Charlie Band got his, cut his teeth pretty much with his dad, Albert Band, who was like a director. He would like go back and forth between Italy and the United States, and his movies were more classy, kind of black and white stuff. But, Charlie Band learned from that, and there you go. But before Full Moon, there was Empire Pictures. Now, Empire Pictures had movies like Reanimator, Intruder, it's a really cool slasher movie, Ghoulies, Dolls. God, there was so many. Missing it. From Beyond, really, really good practical effect, gory horror movies that were fun, and you just don't see them that much anymore. But long story short, Empire Pictures kind of collapsed. But Charlie, being super resilient, created Full Moon Pictures, and it picked up with, I guess, like the main attraction was Puppet Master. That series kind of really brought them out of the ashes. Demonic Toys. These are all Full Moon films. I'm going to mention Subspecies, Doll Man, Trancers. I think the Trancer sequels were like Full Moon Pictures, and Trancers 1 was Empire. Anyway, all I'm saying is these movies, while yet they were, not spectacular in any shape or form to the average person, to people like me or my friends, or maybe even you guys who enjoy movies, that have like Bruce Campbell in them, like, cheap horror stuff, but, enough, action-packed stuff to keep you interested. And like I said, I'm using the wrong terminology here, because I can't really think how else to word it, because, once again, you look at these movies, I mean, yeah, like, these are not Ridley Scott-type productions here we're talking about, but for the money they had, they made it look good, you know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, over the years, dealing with, various problems, money issues probably, location problems, and just not having, I guess, the resources they had back then, the more freedom. Today, things are a little more constricted. Obviously, you got COVID, but even before that, trying to get movies like that into, the popular culture, where it's been oversaturated by Hollywood films, it's really hard to stand out of the crowd. A lot of competition in film, just like music, just how it is. And, but I gotta give, Charlie Band credit and Full Moon. They kept pushing out sequels, original films. They would do crossovers like Demonic Toys and Puppet Master. Really, really cool stuff, and it's fun. I was lucky enough to meet him at a horror convention in Cherry Hill, which was pretty cool. He actually brought some of the, you could buy them. They're like modeled after the props of Puppet Master. The actual puppets are about like 12 inches. It's kind of expensive, but if you're like a super fan, definitely worth it. But yeah, it was the charm in those movies and the atmosphere that kind of drew me to that, and just how so resourceful you could be. And I kind of took that, whatever shot I could steal, like go into a public area and do a shot real quick, then pack up and go, like guerrilla filmmaking, stuff like that. I love doing that, because you got to think of the world as kind of like a canvas, and you're like the artist, you gotta, even though no one's probably watching, you gotta make it work and give them something to see, And I think that's what being an artist, whatever the medium is, whether it be film, music, painting, whatever, sculpting, it always starts as nothing, and then you create it. And yeah, you might borrow from this, but ultimately it's going to be your idea, and you're going to bring it. Even if it's writing, I'm trying to break into that, but I'm not that good of a writer, I try, I really do. I'm okay. By writing, I mean scripts, not stories. But, yeah, like I said, with movies like that, and countless others too, like, I could go on and on, with that. All the greats inspired me. Not just Charlie Band, Full Moon Entertainment. They were the first, but, I have to give credit, obviously, to the greats. George Romero, Wes Craven, John Carpenter, Mick Garris, God, there's like Clive Barker, all those guys, John Landis, yeah, they all kind of just were like, we're gonna do movies that are not normal, and hopefully people like them, and they did. And if you really want a mind trip, check out movies from David Lynch and David Cronenberg. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure you see movies from David Cronenberg, but they're so bizarre. Bizarre material from both directors. You'll be thinking about it. They do the kind of movies you'll be thinking about after it's over, and that's cool. And there's only maybe a handful of directors now that could still make that impression today. It's really hard to touch the greats. Everyone has their own style, I understand. But, Eli Roth, James Wan. But, like I said, that, charm that's there, that kind of just, takes you in. It's like, yeah, this is a movie. I appreciate this stuff. It's hard to come by now. But sometimes, you get lucky. You find that one or two or whatever, And this is just my genre. Like I said, this could go for any film. Look at James Cameron. Started out doing B movies, right? Did what was his first movie aside from Terminator? Had to do with killer piranhas. Piranha 2, The Spawning. So yeah, James Cameron did a movie about killer piranhas. Okay, and then he did Terminator 2, and look at him now. Avatar. See what I mean? Sam Raimi, Evil Dead 2, Bruce Campbell, same deal. Went from doing that to Spider-Man, So, it's fun. It's interesting if you go that path of being a genre filmmaker, where it's going to lead you. Like, even recent, I'm sure James Wan had no idea he would be the next director, or not even, the director of Aquaman. When he was, creating Saw, the Saw universe, I don't think it was in his mind saying, one day I'm going to direct a comic book movie and it's going to be really cool. You don't. You just go with your passion, you give it your all, and if someone likes it, then they give you a little more cash and say, hey, listen, how about this idea? Can you apply that to this? And then, I guess the sky's the limit. But, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Like I said, as much as I was passionate for music, still am passionate for film, and it will always be a part of me, both music and film, and to try and incorporate them together is very rewarding at the end of the day. And during these hard times, any distraction like that, just being creative and using your mind instead of watching the news or contemplating how the world's going to end, it's very refreshing, and might even make you live a little longer. All right, guys, thanks for listening. I'm sorry about the camera. It's like breathing, it looks like. I don't know what that's about. If you guys know what that's about, tell me. Should I put the camera higher or not rest it on like a pile of books like I'm doing? I don't know. Maybe it's like a focus thing. I'm filming on a camera, a phone camera. So, yeah, sorry about that, really. All right, that's all I got to say. Thanks for listening. Yep, that's what kind of made me me. A part of me, anyway. Yeah, hell of a story. You guys got a story? Please, like I said, yeah, I'm always checking this. If you ever guys want to like comment or drop a line or something, no judgment here. I'm all ears. All right. Thanks for listening again. Did I say that again? Yeah. And stay healthy. Yeah. All right. Take care and see you very soon. Peace.